So now we are moving to our fourth module, which is mainly concentrating on the relational database design. So here we are studying the database which is created in the form of relations. That means suppose if you have a database is there for a particular organization, we know that inside that database we have to store a lot of data, maybe about the employees, their salary and all other information. So in the case of relational database, we will store all the information related to the organization as different tables. So here we have to study how to design each and every table in a database. So when we create such relational database, or when the first step is we will create a design, that is which all attributes should be stored in each and every tables, like that. So main point we have to consider here is we have to avoid the redundancy, unnecessary redundancy. That is, if you are without planning, if you are creating different tables, there may be some attributes or some values which may be repeated in many tables. That may cause the redundancy. That is, redundant information will be stored in different tables. So that will arise whenever we are creating a table, or we are creating a database in the form of different tables without any planning. So in order to avoid this drawback, that is in order to avoid the redundancy and unnecessary redundancy, what we can do is we can use normalization, or we can apply normalization to the tables in a database. So we have to study mainly in this module, we have to study about the different types of normalization and how the normalization is applied to each and every table, like that. If you are creating a good relational design, that is, suppose that before the actual implementation, first of all we will create a design of a relational database. So how can you define that our relational database, the design is a good design? So what are the features of a good relational design? Mainly during the first, that is in the first module, we studied about an ER diagram, which is a diagrammatic representation which will give you an idea of which are the different tables needed for a particular organization. For example, suppose we have to create a database for any particular enterprise, let it be a university. So which are the different tables needed? So that is normally related by entity set, and how which all entity sets are related. That is how in another way we can say how the tables are related, like that. What about the attributes for each and every entity set? So everything we will design in ER diagram. But ER diagram we can use as a base for creating a relational database. That is, we will get the idea of which all tables are may be there in a particular database, or which are attributes will be there in a database, which key should be taken as a primary key, and how different tables are related, what is the relationship between these tables. So everything we will get a basic idea which for a particular that is basic idea of relational database design we will get from an ER diagram. But ER diagram is not enough for creating a good design, because we cannot represent certain additional information that will help you to make a good design. So in that case, we have to use some other more things are needed in order to create a good relational database design. So we are studying in detail about which are the things needed for that. So the main thing is if you want to create a good relational database design, so remember that what is the meaning of relational database design? That is, we are creating the database as a collection of relations. So if you want to create a good design, good relational database design, the main thing we have to do is we have to apply the normalization. What is a normalization? Normalization is the process of organizing the data in a database. That is, suppose a database, we want to create a database for a hospital or a library system, library management system. So First, we have to consider how which all data should be stored in different tables. So we have to organize the data, that is which all how many tables may be needed, and which all values, which all data should be stored in each and every table. So we have to make an organization. So the organizing the data, it's a process of organizing the data in a database is called the normalization. And main purpose of or objective of a normalization is minimize the redundancy. That is, minimize the redundancy means we have to avoid the duplicate of data in different tables, different relations. And the second purpose or second goal of normalization is to eliminate undesirable characteristics like different types of anomalies. So we will study what is the meaning of anomalies. So what is the first purpose of normalization? Normalization is mainly used in order to minimize the redundancy, and it can be used to eliminate the anomalies. There are three types of anomalies are there: insertion anomaly, updation or modification anomaly, and deletion anomaly. Then, in normalization, how we will apply the normalization is we will divide a larger table into smaller tables, and the tables will be, related tables will be linked. So, using the relationship. Okay. So, these are the main points about the normalization. So, in the first point, we explain what is the normalization. Normalization is the process of organizing the data in a database. And what are the purpose of normalization? The first purpose of normalization or first goal of normalization is to minimize the redundancy of data in a relation. The second purpose is to eliminate the anomalies like insertion anomaly, deletion anomaly, and updation or modification anomalies. And how the normalization is performed? It is performed by dividing a larger table into smaller tables, and they will be linked by using relationships. So as I said, we have to study the meaning of anomaly, which is very important question. Which are the various anomalies in DBMS? So first of all, we can define what is the meaning of anomaly. Anomaly is a problem, or anomalies are problems that may occur because of the poorly planning unnormalized database. That means suppose we are storing all the information regarding a particular database in single table. So without planning, if you are creating such table or a flat database, so if we are storing all the data in a single database, that is called a flat database. So in that case, this type of problems may arise. Okay. So the main problem, anomalies are problems that may arise because of the poorly planned unnormalized database in which we are storing all the data in a single table. So we can say an anomaly as a flaw in database. That is, it is a without any planning, this problem may arise. And how we can overcome this anomaly? This anomaly problem can be overcome by applying the normalization process. That is, we can divide the tables, splitting the tables, joining the tables. Two process can occur in order to avoid the anomaly. In some case, we will divide a larger table to smaller table. In some case, we will combine the smaller tables to a larger table. So both process will happen in order to apply this normalization, which may avoid this type of anomalies. So now we have to study how many types of anomalies are there. Mainly there are three types of anomalies. Three types of anomalies are there. The first one is called insertion anomaly. The second one is called updation or modification anomaly. And the third one is called deletion anomaly. So we will study in detail what is the meaning of each and every anomaly. So in order to explain the concept, consider this table. So this is a table which will store the information about employees in a particular organization. So which are the attributes? Employee ID is there, employee name is there, the address of employee is there, and the department of employee is there. So mainly these points about the employees are stored in this table. And suppose that this is an unnormalized table, that is we didn't not yet done the normalization. It's an unnormalized table. Okay. So we can study with the help of this examples table. We can explain the three types of anomalies. So if we check the first and second row, we can see that the person Rick is working in two different departments. Because the 101 Rick Delhi D001, that means that Rick is working in department D001 and the same person is also working in D002. And here the same case arises for the last two rows also. That is, Glenn is working in two different departments. And suppose that the first type of anomaly that we are going to explain is about the update anomaly. Update anomaly means, suppose that the Rick has changed his address from Delhi to some other place, let it be Mumbai. Okay, so normally when a particular employee changes his or her address, we have to make the modification or updation into the table also. That means here suppose that instead of Delhi, suppose he is moving or shifting to another address, that is let it be Mumbai. So how many rows need to be updated for this purpose? We have to update the first row and the second row. That is, suppose any particular person, so in this example, since Rick is working in two different departments, his informations are stored in as two different rows. And whenever we are making any updation to any particular column of that particular person, we have to make updations to the other rows also. Otherwise, the data will be inconsistent. Suppose that the changes have only been made to the first row only, that is where Rick's address is changed to Mumbai. When we check the second row, in the second row, if you are not making the updation there, it will be Delhi. Rick's address will be Delhi. So one address of Rick will be in Mumbai and the other address will be in Delhi, which will make the data inconsistent. So we will be confused which is the Rick's correct address. So that type of problem is called update anomaly. Okay. Next type of anomaly we have to study is called the insert anomaly. And in order to explain this concept of insert anomaly, suppose that a new person has entered into that organization. Suppose he is in a training phase, that is, he is not yet assigned to any of the department. So if you are considering this table, all the persons, if you suppose that the employee department, this field we are setting as not null. That is, we cannot give a null value to the employee department field. So if a person, a particular row will be added to this table if that person is assigned to any one of the department. And in our case, suppose a new person has entered into the company and he is in the training phase. He has not assigned to any of the departments. So what happens then? We cannot make an entry to that entry of that person into this table because there is no particular employee department for that particular person since he is in the training phase. So as I said, if the employee department, that is if the department attribute, if it is setting as not null, then we cannot make an entry because he is in the training phase. So we cannot store the information of that person into that table, and this problem is called insert anomaly. Next type of anomaly we have to study is called the delete anomaly. Suppose that if you are considering this example and take the third row. Suppose the department D890 stop its working. That is from that particular let it be organization. That particular department is not working now. So what happens if a particular department is not working? Then we have to remove the entire row from this table because now this department is not in the company. So if you are deleting the entire row, all the informations about the person who is working in that department will also be lost. So if you are deleting the third row, suppose if you are deleting, if that particular department is not working in that company, we have to delete all the informations about Maggie. So in future, if you want to get, in some case in future, if you want to know about the person who was worked in that particular department, now it is not available because we already deleted that particular row from the table. So that is called a deletion anomaly. So these are the three types of anomalies. So as I said, what is an anomaly? Anomaly is a problem that may arise due to the poor planning and unormalized database. Suppose if you are storing all the data inside a simple database, in a flat database. And we can we can overcome the anomalies by using or by applying the normalization process, in which we will divide, we will split or join the tables. There are three types of anomalies, as I said: insertion anomaly, update anomaly, and deletion anomaly. And in order to explain all these types of anomalies, I consider this example table in which all the information about the different employees who are working in different departments have been recorded. And suppose that this table is not in a normalized table. So in order to explain the first type of anomaly, that is update anomaly, suppose that Rick has changed his, so here we can see that the two rows indicates that the same person is working in two different departments. Suppose the Rick has changed his address from Delhi to Mumbai. So in that case, we have to, if we are considering this example, we have to make the updation to both the rows, because here we entered two different rows about the Rick. Suppose if you are only making updation to any one of the row, the other one will be, the entire data will be inconsistent. Second type of anomaly, as we said, is called the insert anomaly. In the case of insert anomaly, suppose that if we are setting this, while we are creating this table, we are setting the employee department as a not none value. That means that a new row can be entered into the table if a particular employee is working in a department. Suppose a new person has entered into the company and suppose he is in the training field, that is, he has not assigned any particular department. In that case, we cannot make an entry into this table since he is not assigned to any department. So that problem is called insertion anomaly. And the last one is called the delete anomaly, which means that suppose a particular department has closed its working from that particular company. In that case, we have to delete all the rows regarding that particular department. So in future, if you want to know anything about that particular department, the entire data is lost because it is not there inside the table. And that problem is called the deletion anomaly. So in order to avoid all these types of anomaly, we can use the method, the solution is we can apply the normalization, which will overcome or which will reduce these types of anomalies.